plant growth substances. Plants, animals, microorganisms, these are the three major divisions that we made. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the plants, how they are growing, what are the substances they need to grow up. Okay, normally when we take the plants, they need air, water, light, minerals, vitamins, many stuffs, nutrients, many stuffs they need. Meanwhile, though all these factors have been supplied, there are some sort of chemicals present inside the plant. What they do, they are the ones needed for the plants to regulate, to promote, to increase their growth. So these substances always affect the growth of the plant, and they are what we term as plant growth substances. So accordingly, you can see here, air, water, light, and minerals are essential for plant growth. As well, there are some chemical substances too which affect towards the growth of plants. These are what we term as plant growth substances. So you can write down the definition for that. The chemical compounds which regulate the growth of a plant are known as plant growth substances. When we come for these plant growth substances, some of the plant growth substances will be promoting the growth, while there are some other substances they inhibit the growth. That means the opposite of promoting. So that is something like increasing and decreasing. You see there, some growth substances promote the growth of a plant, while some inhibit the growth of a plant. Few examples are what we are going to discuss now. You see, in plants, stem of the plant grows upward and its root grow downwards after the seed germination, as well as even when the plant pot falls down. Always the root will be growing downwards to the earth inside the soil, and the stem will be growing upward. So even this plant kept on a pot, if it is toppled down, fallen down, still we can see it will be bending and the stem will be growing upward as shown in the diagram here. You can see that. First diagram shows you when it is just kept vertically, still it will be growing upward, the stem and the roots downward. When the pot is fallen down, toppled down, the bending would be taking place in the stem and the stem still grow upward. So what is the reason for this? Okay, the reason is what we term as the plant growth substances, and how they are going to affect is what we are going to discuss in these activities. So here the first activity is cut and remove the apex of one plant, then measure the heights of both plants. Supply same environmental conditions for both plants and measure their heights daily for a week. Very first you have to take a plant pot. So one plant, what do you do there? You have to keep it as it is. And the other plant, you have to cut the top of that. Both the plants you take, you have to measure their heights, and thereafter what you do, you have to keep it under sunlight and completely giving all the factors needed for the plant. For both of the plant, you have to keep. What you do now, day by day, about 1 week, for about 1 week, you have to measure their heights. What you can observe here is the plant pot which you kept as it is without cutting the apex. Apex means the top of the stem. You can see its height has been increased. At the same time, the second pot of plant where you have cut and removed the apex, that has not been increased as the first one. So what is the reason for this? You see there, it could be observed that the plant with the apex grows and its height increases, while the height of the plant without the apex does not change. So it's clear that there is an effect of the apex on plants to increase their height. So accordingly, here you can understand, to increase the height of the plant, there is a certain factor present in the top of the plant stem. That means the stem apex. So there is something which can affect the growth. That is why, which is having the stem top, the apex of the stem is growing up, increasing the height, while the other, which is not having the stem apex, has not grown up, has not increased its height. So accordingly, what is our conclusion in the first activity? There is a factor present in the apex of plants to increase the height. It's clear, right? So with that, we are going to do the second activity. Cut and remove the apex of one plant. Place the two plants inside the box in a way that both plants get light only from one direction. What you are going to do now? Same way, we are going to take two plants. Okay, one plant, as it is the earlier activity, you have to cut the top of the stem. That means the apex you have to cut. and the other one you have to keep it with the stem apex. Both the plants you are going to keep inside a dark box where there are holes alike which could be used as to supply sunlight, and you have to make sure that both the plants get the sunlight in the same direction. And you can observe now the plant with the apex grows to the direction of the light, and the plant without the apex does not turn towards the light. So what is the observation here? With the apex will be turning, bending towards light. It will be growing towards light. Alright. Without the apex, it will not turn towards light. It will not grow towards light. Therefore, we can come to a conclusion that there is an effect of the apex on the growth of a plant. Here too we can say some factors are there at the apex of plant which help it to grow upward. So you can understand now the summary out of these: chemical substances are present inside the plant in their top of the stem, the apex, which regulate their growth, which regulate their height, and these are the plant growth substances. Accordingly, you can see there that is due to the chemical compounds synthesized in plant apex. So some plant growth substances that promote the growth of plants are given below. So here we are going to discuss mainly about three plant growth substances. What are they? Auxins, cytokinin, and gibberellins. There are three images. Auxins promote the root initiation, the growth of the roots. Cytokinin induce growth of shoot. There is a shoot system, right? The shoot system to induce the growth, to increase the growth, cytokinin is helpful. And gibberellins stimulate cell elongation. So cells to elongate, to increase their diameter, gibberellins are important. So these are the fundamental parts. So now we are going to discuss one by one. The first topic is auxin. Auxin is a growth promoting hormone in plants which produce in the tips of the shoots and roots. Now when we take the shoot, the top of the shoot, it does have the shoot apex, and now the bottom of the root, it is what connected with the ground, so that is termed as the root apex. So there are two words: top of the shoot apex, and the bottom of the root, that is root apex. So both these apex, they do have auxin, and that is how this auxin, the chemical compound or the plant growth substance, help in increasing the height. Because to increase the height, both up and down should elongate. So accordingly, you see auxin is helpful in this way. Auxin stimulates cell elongation in stem and root. So you have to highlight the term. Stimulate cell elongation. Stem apex turn towards light due to dissimilar cell elongation of stem. Positive phototrophic movement of plant is caused due to auxin being moved to the darker side of the plant, causing the cells there to grow longer than corresponding cells on the other side of the plant. Auxin also inhibits the growth of lateral buds. Pruning of plant apex is practiced to maintain bushy plants. Phototrophic movement. So you just learn the term. It moves towards light. Photo means light, we refer. So since it is positive phototrophic, it moves, it grows towards the light. Look at the image given here. There is a stem given. When light falls, auxins diffuse downwards. Can you see in the first image? Auxin is there present at the top of the stem, we said, that is the apex. When the light is falling on vertically, auxin, they move towards the low light region, that means the darker region. So when the light falls on the top of the surface, light intensity is high. So it won't be present there. What it does now, it diffuses downwards. Can you see that? It is diffusing downward, it's moving downward. Alright, from high light to low light area, it's moving downward. Okay, look at the second image. Now the light is falling from a certain direction in an angle. The auxins which was present throughout the stem at the top of that will be diffusing to the opposite side. Why is that? Because in one direction, one side, if the light is intense, the opposite side, the light will be low in intensity. So because of that, from light high or high light intense area to the lower light area, auxin will be moving back. Okay, so this is the second instance. You see, collection of auxins in areas where intensity of light is low. So because of this, all these auxins will be intense. They will be collected in one side. And auxin, what is its function? We said stimulate cell elongation. Now all the auxins have been collected only in one side of this plant stem, which stimulate the cell elongation only in one side. Okay, only in one side. So because of that, only that side will be growing larger, longer than the other side. So because of this, there will be a bending. So accordingly, this is how auxin will be affecting the growth of flower. So one more. Do you know indole 3 acetic acid? What is the word? Indole 3 acetic acid, or we say IAA. I said there are many other substances too. Basically only three we are going to discuss here, right? So indole 3 acetic acid is the most abundant, most commonly found and the basic auxin natively occurring and functioning in plants. That means that is not an artificial one being applied externally. So within itself, within the plant, it will be synthesized, it will be produced. Okay, so it is commonly found in plants too. And what is its function? It generates the majority of auxin effects in intact plants and is the most potent native auxin. Auxin also inhibits the growth of lateral buds. Lateral buds, those buds are present laterally in the plant. These chemical substances will be promoting as well as inhibiting the growth. Cell elongation, it is a promotion. And what is the inhibition done by auxin? Auxin inhibits the growth of lateral buds. And the pruning of plant effects is practiced to maintain bushy plant. So that is regarding auxin. And the second one, gibberellins. Gibberellins, G as we say, are plant hormones that regulate growth and influence various developmental processes. So these are also plant growth substances which are helping in growing up, regulating the growth of the plant, and also influence various developmental processes. That means, you know, when the plant is growing up, the part should be mature, they should be grown up well. In those developmental processes, gibberellins are very much important. Some examples are given here, you see, including stem elongation. So this is the highlighted word here. So stem elongation, germination, okay, the seeds are growing up, dormancy, flowering, 6 expressions, enzyme induction, and leaf and fruit senescence. These are the developmental processes where gibberellins are used to. Okay, once again we read that, including stem elongation, germination, dormancy, flowering, 6 expression, enzyme induction, and leaf and fruit senescence. So these are the terms. Gibberellins promote mainly the elongation of the stem and growth of the fruit. So we said here mainly the elongation of the stem elongation as well as growth of fruits. Fruits will be also growing up. So this is the major function of gibberellin. Okay, you can see the diagram given here. A dwarf plant and a dwarf plant tested with gibberellin, it has been grown up. You can see the stem. Can you see the height of the stem? It's increased. The length of the stem has been increased. So that is what we term as stem elongation. So the third one I'm coming for, cytokinin. Cytokinin, we say CK, are a class of plant growth substances, or we say phytohormones. You remember the term phytohormones that promote cell division or cytokinesis in plants, roots, and shoots. So the major function of this cytokinin is promote cell division. Okay, promote cell division. So they are involved primarily in cell growth and differentiation, but also affect apical dominance, axillary bud growth, and leaf senescence. So there are some other tasks also. You can see affect apical dominance, axillary bud growth, and leaf senescence. Cell growth and differentiation. That means I'm giving you a small idea about that. You know, the cells to be grown up, very first they have to be divided. One cell should become 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. Like that, there are certain division procedures inside the plant. So during this cell division, the cells will be differentiated, okay, and then they will be entitled with, they will be assigned with their certain functions. So this is how cell division is promoted by cytokinin. Cytokinins are important as for cell division process. Cytokinin accelerates the cell division so that the growth of flowers, leaves, fruits, and roots get accelerated. So because of cytokinin is present, the flowers, leaves, fruits, and roots will be getting accelerated. Accelerated in the sense they will be growing up well. They stimulate seed germination and then they delay the plant aging. So accordingly, again, I'm reminding with all three: auxin, cell elongation; gibberellin, that is the stem elongation; and cytokinin, cell division. So these are the three. So these are the three major plant growth substances that we discuss now. And two more particles are there which comes under this natural plant growth substances. They are abscisic acid and ethene. What are the two terms? Abscisic acid and ethene. You see the abscisic acid given here. It is a plant growth substance and it is a chemical substance that causes closing of stomata when experience shortage of water. Thus decrease transpiration. You know, there are stomata present in plant leaves, and that is something like the dough. Okay, that is something like the dough help the gaseous exchange and the water vapor exchange too. Okay, you have learned about transpiration. Transpiration means that is the process of removing out water vapors from the plant surfaces, especially plant leaves. Sometimes the plant will be experiencing with shortage of water. Plant will be experiencing with a shortage of water. So when the water level inside the plant is less, it is not recommended to release water as transpiration. So the transpiration should be stopped. We can't stop that by covering up the plant surface, right? We can't do that. It should be automatically, naturally done. So what is the natural effect here? At this time, abscisic acid will be formed out. So what it does, it stimulates the closing of stomata. It's something like the doors are closed. Now the won't transpirate out. The water will not be released out. So accordingly, abscisic acid is also a natural plant growth substance. And the next one, ethene. Ethene is a simple organic compound which produces low amounts in plants. It is necessary for ripening of fruits. When ripening, starch stored in plants converted to sugar. If a plant is damaged, ethene released to the wound area and a new tissue forms to recover the wound. You see now what's happening by this ethene? It is a simple organic compound and it is produced in very lower amounts in plants, very much lower amounts in plants. And what is the function of that? It is very much important for the ripening of fruits. Okay, for the fruits to get ripened, and that is how, that is the point where we can consume them. Then only it will be giving you a taste to plant. When they are producing food, that food will be stored in plants as starch. This starch doesn't have a sweet taste. Okay, but how is this sweet taste given when we are consuming, eating them? That is because of, by this thing, ripening of fruits will be stimulated, and at this time starch will be converted into sugar, and this sugar is what will be giving you the sweet taste. If a plant gets damaged, ethene released to the wound area. For the wound area, ethene will be released on, and there will be new tissues formed up as to recover the wound, and these are the functions of natural plant growth substances. What is the reason for falling leaves and fruits when mature? You could have seen some plant leaves and fruits after maturing, they will be falling down. What's the reason for this? When you observe a stalk of naturally fallen leaf and a stalk of broken leaf, it should be clear to you that naturally fallen leaf stalk has clear abscission layer. So that is, when a plant leaf is naturally fallen down, you can see there at the end of the plant leaf in the stalk, there will be an abscission layer, a glue layer like would be there. But the same way you can't observe when the stalk of a leaf is broken off. So that is due to the natural plant growth substances present therein. The reason for making abscission layer is when matured, the amount of growth substances reduces in fruits and leaves. Why are these plant growth substances needed? To grow up the plant and to make it mature, right? So after maturing, is it needed to increase the growth substances? It's useless, unnecessary. So what should be happen? The amount of growth substances reduces in fruits and leaves. Okay, so since they are reducing, there will be an abscission layer when the plants get matured, and they are what you can see when they are fallen down naturally without break. So then fruit fall and leaf fall take place in plants. So this is how fruits and leaves fall down from the plants naturally. So due to decrease the reduction of growth substances in fruits and plant leaves once they are mature, and thus it forms our abscission layer, and that is what you can observe after they have fallen down. So hope you understand about this natural plant growth substances. Now you may be having a doubt that, so is it only natural plants can have these growth substances? No. There are artificial growth substances too, and that is the next topic I am going to take. Artificial growth substances are widely used in horticulture and growing ornamental plants. So what is this artificial growth substances? Natural substances means they are produced inside the plants naturally. Artificial means actually we produce them out of the plants as chemicals. We produce them and we inject them to the plants, and that is what basically the people they term as chemicals have been injected, chemicals have been applied to the plants, fruits, vegetables and all, and that is why they are growing larger, we say. So these chemical substances which are externally produced away from the plant is what we term as artificial growth substance. Accordingly, there are few major examples that we take with their function. 2,4-DPA. You can see capital terms are given there. So what is this DPA? dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, it contains 2 chlorine, and that is why we say dichloro. Dichloro means 2 chlorine. And you may be having a problem that why is that we mention 2,4? Actually, that is the position of this chlorine in the compound. In its structure, there are 2 positions for 2 chlorine, and those 2 positions are what we term as 2 and 4. Okay, so 2,4-DPA, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. What is its function? As a broad leaf weedicide for paddy fields. In the paddy fields, as a weedicide, we are using as a something like an anti-factor against the unnecessary weeds growing up. You might have seen, paddy field means we are arranging the area, certain food needs to be prepared, but since all the vectors are given, some unnecessary weeds also could be growing up, so we have to remove this. So what we do there, we apply these chemical substances. And 2,4,5-TPA, 2,4,5, so there are 3 chlorine you can see, so we term as trichloro. So dichloro means 2, trichloro means 3. So trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, 2,4,5-TPA, it is also used as a leaf weedicide. Okay, and IAA, indole acetic acid, indole acetic acid, and IBA, indole butyric acid. So what are the functions? To induce root formation of stem cuttings. Stem cuttings we are using as for asexual reproduction method. Okay, during this stem cutting, to increase the root formation, stem cuttings, we are cutting the stems and we combine 2 particles as to grow up a new plant. So during this time, to increase the root formation, we are applying these external chemicals, and also to grow fruits quickly, to make the fruits growing up quickly. And then NAA, naphthalene acetic acid. Naphthalene acetic acid. Where do we use? To prevent premature fruit drops. So before they get matured, to prevent them falling down, and to induce flowering in pineapple in off season. During off season, to increase the growth of flowers in pineapples, and thereafter that will be forming up into pineapples. Right? Cytocell. To get mango fruits in the off season, during the off season, to get mangoes harvested, we are using cytocell. So accordingly, these are the artificial growth substances that we are using. So 2 major topics that we have learned here: natural growth substances, artificial growth substances. So what are the natural growth substances? Auxin, cytokinin, gibberellin, and 2 additional, you can remember, abscisic acid and ethane. And here artificial growth substances: 2,4-DPA, dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, 2,4,5-TPA, trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, IAA, indole acetic acid, IBA, indole butyric acid, NAA, naphthalene acetic acid, and cytocell. So these are the terms that we have learned.
To get notified about our next videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel Science with Mohideen.